Hello and welcome back to another episode of Lads Kid to Read. We're going to Spy Family. Is this volume three?
This is volume 3. No, 4. Wait. Oh
No,
no.
this is four.
This is 4 because it got the dog on the cover. This is 4.
Yeah, yeah. Uh, yeah. So volume four, you can check out our previous three videos if you want to catch up, and if you haven't seen them, they'll be linked down below. We've covered volume one, two, and three so far. Volume four covers chapters. Let me pull it up on my phone because I can't get it on my computer. Uh,
It is
you know what chapters they have?
17.1 through 23.
Okay, yeah. So in this episode, you see, or I guess they're not in this episode. In this set of chapters, you see the cover of being the Doge, who will remain unnamed until good old Anya names him.
Until the very last chapter of this volume, actually. He's like,
Yeah.
he's a prime time player throughout it, um, but he doesn't get his name till the very end, which I think is very funny.
Okay. And I
Um,
know we talked about it briefly at the end of the last session, but 17.1 for whatever reason is the starting chapter for this volume.
yeah, and I don't know how that was released, so I don't know why that was, but I mean, it is, it's kind of I mean, as most of the like point 0.5, point 0.1 chapters have been, it's kind of disconnected
It's connected. Yeah.
from the
Is
others.
it question for you? You're a little more you know a little more about that sort of this sort of thing. Is it would this have been like a disconnected or they just dropped it unrelated to the volumes dropping? Like it would have been its own separate release, like maybe in Shonen Jump
See,
or like as its own one drop or like something else?
I don't know for sure, but my gut would actually be the opposite. My gut would be that since it's not like a weekly release, it's like a bonus thrown into the volume to make buying it physically more appealing. I don't know if that's for sure the case, but I know that's sometimes a thing.
Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah, that's a possibility. I don't know. Sad news, by the way. This is like, I think this will probably be the last Spy Family video we do for a while because this is the last currently released volume of it. And
Yeah.
I know we talked about in the last video. I think it would work best just to work with the English releases to make things easier and to make branding easier, so I can put the volume covers on them.
Okay, yeah, that makes sense. And that way when we get it, we can like sit down and cover just a whole bunch of shit versus, I mean, I still might, read uh Spy Family here and there just to keep caught up, but I mean, I'm down to reread some of the stuff because I mean, I just love this series.
It's great.
It's
Yeah.
so great.
I don't know. Yeah. We'll see. I don't know. I've enjoyed taking it at a slow pace. I feel like binging manga does like detract from enjoyment to a degree, which is it's like you need a balance. Like I think reading a volume at a time is a very good amount because a chapter like leaves you wanting more. But like if you read 50 chapters in a day, yeah, you'll enjoy the story, but like you'll lose a lot of the individual high points like we get when we read it like this.
Yeah, and I think a good thing just to put this idea out there and put it in the fire so I can't just back out of it. Um, we'll probably start something kind of almost anti that kind of thought process. When So I started reading One Piece, and we'll probably cover that arc by arc and not volume by volume, just so we can get like a good like a chunk of story covered.
Yeah. Well, I think that'll just work better for early One Piece because One Piece chapters specifically, and it kind of the case with all older manga, but like they're very digestible just because there's a lot of like visual gags and there's not much dialogue. It's very dialogue light, so it's easy to get through a lot of it in one sitting.
Yeah,
And I don't know. It's hard because One Piece has like arcs and sagas and like different ways of dividing it up. So like, really, even at chapter 50, you're technically through like 3 arcs. But I think we'll just do a video on the whole East Blue once you leave that. I think that'll work best.
yeah. Okay. Anyway, let's get into this thing 17.1. I love these point 1, point 5s. They're so great.
This is. I mean, it had more Anya, which that's all we can ask for in life. The part where she makes each of her stuffed animal agents eat a peanut, but then she eats both of them.
I saw that. I like it's like this is our connector, and then uh like does that. I was like, oh, this is so wholesome.
Did
Pops the peanuts, and then
so?
she's giving them a tour too. Oh,
Was this just me, or I kind of noticed a trend in these chapters of Twilight. What we're gonna start calling Twilight by his fake name, Lloyd.
Lloyd.
Yeah, was Lloyd kind of like more harsh towards Anya in these chapters than he has been.
No, I wouldn't say crazy. He wasn't crazy harsh. I think he's just
He picks her up by her
legitimately like,
collar in this chapter and shakes her.
yeah, that was a bit intense. But like to be fair, that face she makes literally the panel before. It's dangerous in there. Nuclear bombs.
See, like she knows. Um,
And then you get little like to try to cheer her up because like, oh shit, I was an asshole. They pick up the other stuffed animals and they're like
I
him
love
and
it
Yor are
so
like,
much, and they're
oh,
both so
it's
embarrassed about
fine.
it. Yeah, yeah. So that was yeah, very cute little side story, and then we get into the meat and potatoes of this volume, which is this big story of you have some college terrorists, as you do, much like ourselves, and
I mean, let's not dox ourselves like that, sir.
and then obviously Anya's gonna get a dog because she got her star, so she earned a dog. Um, and we get all these shots of creepy dogs at the park, and then a great Anya face reacting to these dogs.
I love Anya so. I just love her like little facial design. I think her expressions is why I like her so much.
Yeah, just again goes to show how good this artist is. You got some classic Twilight impersonating people to get info out of one of the caught terrorists. And then just the setup for the bomb dogs. And we see the dog we got foreshadowed to in the previous chapter. And I was totally right. He's a future dog. I'm a genius.
I mean, I'll give you the credit. I'll give you credit where credit's deserved.
I mean,
I respect it.
it wasn't that impressive because he did kind of.
It kind of immediately and openly unashamed. It was like, yeah, future dog.
Or at least, I mean, some sort of vision dog, if not future dog. But he is a future dog. Because you get him saving this little kid. And he just has such a good design. Like, he's giant, but he just looks
He's
like.
huge.
He has, like, his little button eyes. And he's so excited when he sees Anya. And Anya. I love how his powers and Anya's powers play off each other, where he
Oh yeah.
he gets a vision and then Anya sees the vision, but like she can't tell anyone about it, obviously.
And that leads to the great little like, as like this whole terrorist thing is going on, right? Or am I getting ahead of ourselves too far?
Yeah, I'm just scrolling through chapter 18. I'm just like where she's after she sees the dog and she goes into the terrorist hideout to see him again.
It's fine.
Um, and then we get another decimal chapter right as Anya is caught.
Which is crazy.
And
They're so
this
close.
this one was cute. I always forget his name. The side guy, falling in love.
I don't know. Just to do with the afro.
Yeah, I don't even know if he has a name. He probably does.
I'm sure he has a code name they've mentioned like once or twice, and we're just idiots and haven't seen it.
But yeah, so Afro
Yeah,
Guy,
I'm positive.
he tries to get Twilight to help him on this date, and he immediately fails very badly. But then you get just like this nice little exchange at the end of Twilight, kind of, being his friend, and you have this. You do get some interesting Twilight introspection when he's talking about how like he's still, and obviously not fully, but like in like the forefront of his mind, he still compartmentalizes Yor and Anya as his mission,
And he's like, even like, is it in this section that he's like, once we're done with this mission, they'll be set. They'll be safe. Like they'll be
No,
taken care of.
that's later, but this is just him saying that like spies can't have relationships, and the other guy's like, that's great coming from a guy with a family, and he says, just that's part of my mission. And then you get a very cute little panel at the end of Yor and Anya playing at the playground, which I did like. But yeah, then we're back.
Happens in this volume, but it's also like such a low key volume. I mean, it's such a weird. I don't know.
What? This much dead air is not good for a podcast. Oh no.
I hate you.
Wait, did you say anything before I hate you?
So Yor and Anya, they go to the adoption thing, right? After checking out other dogs, and they're like, okay, none of this is working. Let's go check out this big adoption thing.
Oh, okay, we got.
Coincidentally,
Wait. Do you have?
right when they're there,
Do you have the
the same terrorist people that.
Because we're in different parts right now.
No, I'm just talking.
Yeah,
I'm just talking.
Already happened.
Oh, well, whatever. They go to that, right? You just lead then, because I'm a failure.
This is okay. Connor and I have just moved home from college, so all of our setup and organization is not good yet. But we'll get into the groove of it.
The real question becomes, will it ever be good?
No, is the answer. But then, yeah. So we're after that second decimal chapter. We're to the part where Anya's been captured by one of the terrorists, and the dog comes to save her, and he's so I love him. He's like 3 times the size of Anya, and I love it.
I love their dynamic so
and then
much.
You get Yor freaking out because she lost Anya, and she's like motioning with her fingers to be like Anya's little pointy things in her hair, and like it's so good. And then she imagines Anya getting eaten by a dog, which is another great image. But then
Anya, I mean, Yor goes full mama bear soon too.
So Yor suddenly pictures like her worst case scenario is that a man has kidnapped Anya to marry her and have her become a bride, and this very greatly upsets Yor, so she goes off to get him to try and find her. And then we get the background on just like the research done on Anya.
That was your daughter.
There was experiments done on
the Doge.
On lots of Doges, or lots of animals actually. Now that I look at it, because there's pictures of dolphins and birds and all kinds of stuff. But so that is obviously where our new dog friend comes from. And he grabs Anya by her little like hoodie and just starts booking it out of there.
God love him. And
okay, this is like just the when Anya first ends up on his back and she's just like, "Are you my friend, doggy?" And he just goes rough. And like
rough.
From there on, I could just have like 10 chapters of just Anya riding.
The Anya and Doge. I want to refer to him as his name, but I know we should refrain from that until
we'll save it for the end. Yeah, but then you just get Anya, being the smart little ass that she is, has already realized that he can see the future, and she obviously like feels a kinship about that because he has superpowers just like her, and it's real cute.
Real wholesome is what it is.
And then you start to get her getting all pumped about it. She's like, so fast, so exciting.
And then they're booking through town, right? And she's like, "You and me together are gonna save the day," and get Anya being a hero, basically.
So
and then they run across those goons. They're like, Anya's like, "Fuck."
Yeah, they went in like a big circle, and then they're just back there, and the guys know. And then you get Yor being great.
Mama Bear. That's a great panel. Just her coming around like above the dude with like the demon eyes.
I know some people call them lazy. I love panels where there's no background and it's just like action in the foreground. Like that looks so good.
No, I love it.
But yeah, then you get you're great. Anya's much too young to be your bride. And
Which is fantastic. After she's beat the shit out of the guy, basically.
it's oh yeah, she like ended that guy. And I also love it happens twice in these chapters where she calls the police and she's like, "Oh yeah, I'm just a simple housewife and I just found this terrorist knocked out on the street." It's so good.
I was the one who called earlier, found the dude knocked out, or the dude like crashed.
And you get great like more of Anya just being terrified of Yor because she's deadly assassin.
Fine. I mean, is Mama Lucas not a deadly assassin?
I mean, I wouldn't know, but oh, this was one of my favorite Anya panels. Is her just being real sad about running away and her little squished face.
Yeah.
It's so good. But then the dog's seeing something. But then you get this super scary bit of the dog seeing the future and Twilight's dead, and you're like, oh no. But but then Anya, I like how Anya's obviously scared about it for a second, but then she's just like, I'm gonna go save him, like with no hesitation. She takes off on her trusty steed again.
I'm gonna go do what I can do best, right? And then she leaves.
So good. Oh, we should talk about it because we kind of got a new character in this. I think they're new, or at least they're just reoccurring now, and I missed them the first time. But there's this new character who's like an upper level spy working with Twilight named Handler, and she has a real cool design. What do you think of Handler?
uh, I liked it. By handler, do you mean like
The lady with the blonde hair and the
Lloyd's
glasses,
Lloyd's
like
boss?
that.
I think she's supposed to be Lloyd's boss.
I think yeah. That seems to be the thing. I dig her. Seems cool. Um, yeah, we just and then like this was kind of her introduction where she's just like questioning these terrorists and she's like asking if they've ever been through all these atrocities of war as she's like about to end this man. That was a pretty cool character introduction. And it just showed how Twilight how like they're it's interesting because normally you'd think it'd be like kind of morally gray, but Twilight spy
I'm
organization
driving away,
seems
and
like
then Anya and Doge blitz.
oh no, we're having some serious connection issues. I'm sure it's on my end because of my terrible internet, but
Your your internet's awful.
it is.
But anyway, Anya and Doge show up to the clock tower that Anya saw in her vision.
Yeah, because that's where Twilight's gonna explode.
Exploded. He exploded, Mom. Um, right? And then like when they get there, Anya's like searching around, and then she sees the dude again. Like,
Oh no, oh no, Connor, I lost you.
and
This.
then as they're going through, like Anya's like finds the bomb that's planted, like the bomb that would kill Twilight, planted on the door,
And
and then she's like, "What do I do? What do I
I
do?"
like it first. She's like,
And she's like, "Oh right, if I open it, it'll blow up."
she like
As if she completely forgot that it was like jerry rigged.
she like contemplates trying to defuse the bomb herself, which is like that
About
might be a
opening
little
it.
above your pay grade on you. You can't read clock times yet. I love that whole section of Anya just like trying to figure out how time works, cause like, I mean, as a kindergartner, I couldn't read an analog clock, and that's just like a great try.
No, but and then like my favorite line is she's like, she gets into the room with the bomb and she's like, I can disable this. I've seen the spy show. And then she gets there and she's like, all the wires are black and the complete face of horror.
Yeah, yeah, is oh, so good. Yeah, my internet's so bad I can't load the next few chapters. So,
Oh, that's unfortunate.
it's okay. We're almost to the end, anyways. But you get yeah. So Anya saves Lloyd and like prevents a basically Anya
No,
prevents World War III.
pineapple. I mean, she is. Yeah, no, she does good.
It's great.
That's
Because
a
like yeah,
girl, and then
if that building had exploded, that probably would have started a war. So she shuts that down, and then poor Lloyd, is having a long day, and his day continues as he has to go track down. He disguises himself as the guy who is gonna get assassinated, and then has to fight the last terrorist, like mano a mano.
and good old yeah. Lloyd just not having a good Tuesday.
Yeah, but as always, he pulls off. He doesn't even have to kill the dog. He gets the dog's bomb off, throws it into the river, and stops the last terrorist. Or well, actually, it's Yor stops the last terrorist, I guess, but he stops the bomb dog, which is important.
Yes, the dog doesn't get blown up,
And then
and then like
I
her and your they get like the guy out there. They stop the bomb, whatnot, right?
mhm. I absolutely love the
Um,
end of this chapter with
I love like the. I know you already referred to it, but that favorite like after.
oh no, more
Thing
cutting
was
out.
like
Oh, our connection's so bad. I should have had you record instead of me. Can you hear me?
you to record. Are we not recording right now?
No, I'm recording, but just like half of
Barely.
like all of my stuff will be fine recorded, but like a lot of what you say is not getting picked up, so we might want to wrap it up kind of early.
Yeah. Anyway, yeah. There's some great panels going forward where they're talking about their day, and then Anya's like, I did pretty much everything, and I can't
Both,
brag
it's so
about
great.
it.
Anya and Yor are both so smug about saving the day, and Twilight. Well, and they all did save the day, but they're just very smug and not even smug, but just like very happy with themselves. And poor Twilight is just exhausted, and he just wants to go home.
Can't say I blame him.
Oh no, he
Um,
goes through a lot in these chapters.
it's been a long day for him.
But then we get
Uh,
into our last chapter, which is kind of a break from all of that intensity, and we're back at school because Anya's all excited to use her new dog as leverage to help Papa on his mission as she does.
that panel with her is like, I'm gonna save the world so many times.
Oh, that was so good.
That's fantastic.
But you get her being super smug, and then just everyone making fun of her for not being able to name the dog.
Yeah, or like, I got myself, like how smug she is when she's like, I got myself a dog.
Oh, so good. And then
Because guess what? I got a dog.
and Damien just like he's not even trying to be mean this time. He's just like his tender
Yes.
reaction upsets her so much.
So what? That's a great. Can we make that the thumbnail? Just Anya's reaction to that. Yes. So what?
I should. Yeah. If you remind me, I will.
Um.
But
And
yeah,
then he's like, I didn't even mean to be mean, and his buddies are like, oh, you got that, commoner.
wrecked.
What an
Destroyed.
idiot.
But yeah, I don't remember what the next bit is. But then we just like get the great ending of Well, first we get like very briefly we get the dog's backstory, and it's just very sad of him being experimented on and messed with and mistreated in the efforts that led to him getting his powers. And then but then you get the end where Anya comes up with her name for him, and he's Bond, just like Bond Man in her favorite show, because he's got little matching booties and gloves.
Yeah. Is it supposed to be Bond because also reference? I'm assuming that's a greater reference to James Bond, right?
Oh, definitely. But I considering Bond Man's existence, I'm guessing James Bond doesn't exist in this world. So like yeah,
And just
Bond,
author wise, I think it's the author of
Bond
Brando.
is James Bond, and so I love that with his name he also gets his little bow tie, and
Which
she
is
just,
fantastic.
she introduces him fully as Bond with his little bow tie, and everyone loves him, and now the Forger family is a family of 4, and it's great.
It's just a growing family. I just love this series so much.
It's so good. That's why I wanna, cause like it's every other week, so we're not gonna get this that often. So we need to like enjoy it. We need to pace ourselves with it, cause we're gonna run out soon and get very sad.
Yeah, no, I think it's good to slow down, especially if like I start catching up with my like I was gonna call it My Hero, but especially if I start like getting into good points in One Piece, which I'm liking so far.
I'm glad. Yeah, yeah. So expect on the channel One Piece in the future, more Bleach, and we'll probably have to start some new series soon if we catch up on those. Maybe some Chainsaw Man if like I said, we're ironing out scheduling issues, but we'll get there.
Yeah, because we got internships coming up. It'll be yeah, it'll be fine. We'll do great.
Yeah, don't worry, viewers, because we are backlogged, so we'll have content aplenty in the future. But for now, I think we'll sign off. So thank you for watching. As always, apologies for the terrible audio issues on this episode. It should be better by next time.
Yeah, I mean we'll get there. We'll eventually iron out Kings. We'll be good.
Yeah. See you, everybody.
Well, thanks for watching, fellas.
授業終わり至福の時間例えるのならマジで炎上不意の極地平和講師だ追試の知らせ地獄だ友達